He's been able to win 8 national championships, going for win number 1,000 over a very prolonged career. Really impressive is what I should say. And I want to send out congratulations to her a little bit preemptively, but I have a feeling she's going to get that 1,000.
Yeah, she's looking for 1,000 tomorrow against Georgia. Meanwhile, speaking of Georgia, Bob Knight has been rumored to be interested maybe in Dennis Felton's old position.
I will say this, no matter where Bob Knight coaches, that university, I think, can win. And people may question some of his tactics or what have you, but I'll tell you right now, I have an 8-year-old. My son, I would allow to play for Bob Knight because I have a lot of respect for him. And if you look at the young men he's coached, not only has he won everywhere he's been, but he's really produced men. He's taught these young men how to grow up and be responsible citizens. So kudos to coach if he decides to come back.
3 national titles now. His son, Pat Knight, has been in the news, not for the best of reasons this week.
Well, I think he needs to do a little bit more teaching with Pat in terms of being able to control his emotional stability right now, because he didn't do a good job of it in the game where he ended up getting a 2-game suspension. That was an ugly situation for him, and I think he'd be the first to acknowledge he kind of lost control there. And that's not the kind of example you want to set as a head coach, but I think he's a fine person, done a solid job at Texas Tech in replacing his father.
All right, now we've seen a couple of different coaches already lose their job this year. Mike Gottfried from Alabama, Dennis Felton, of course, as we talked about, from Georgia. Debbie Yao, the athletic director at the University of Maryland, has given a vote of confidence to Gary Williams, who I think is a heck of a basketball coach.
Well, he is a good coach, but you're only as good as what you've done here lately. What have you done for me lately? And Gary Williams has struggled. Now, granted, I'm with you. I think he's a solid coach. The problem is he has not recruited the caliber of talent that he had earlier in his ACC career. And the reality is, in order for Maryland to get back, it's on his shoulders to go out and hit the recruiting trail.
And such an impressive facility at the Comcast Center at the University of Maryland. All right, speaking of what have you done for me lately? Aubrey Coleman has done a whole lot for Houston in this first half.
He really has, and it started off right off the bat. The first play of the game, he's able to attack the rim. He gets that layup to fall. It gives you a rhythm and a confidence offensively, and he then stretches out to the three-point line. He's been very effective. And Jermaine Taylor, not as effective offensively in terms of the field goal percentage, but he's finding other ways to be active here. He comes up with the block and the steal, and then the beautiful finish, and it gave his team a little bit of momentum down the stretch here to see if they can carry that over into the second half.
Well, we knew coming in that Houston had good hands and could steal the ball an awful lot during the course of a basketball game. We've seen it in this first half.
Activity. It's been impressive what they've done defensively. They totally disrupted the offense of UCF, and those quick hands, more importantly, turning those steals into points. 15 points they create off of turnovers here in that first half, and that has been the difference in this basketball game. Their ability to take that great quickness defensively and convert it into points on the offensive end.
Well, and that's why Houston has the lead, 43-28 over UCF. The second half between UCF and Houston is coming up. That concludes AT&T at the half.
This has been AT&T at the half. Your world delivered.
If you want to do great things in your world, spend some time in ours.
This is my UCF.
This is Conference USA, home to national champions, Heisman Trophy winners, National Coaches of the Year, Olympic medalists, and All-Americans. We have teams that have played in 121 bowl games, the College World Series for baseball and softball, NCAA Soccer College Cup, and teams that have made Final Four appearances. Be there for the next big moment. This is Conference USA. Competition lives here.
In the 1960s, Alabama coach Bear Bryant won 3 national championships without breaking the color barrier.
Segregation was the law.
the law of the land.
What would it take for him to turn the Crimson Tide?
I don't have any question in my mind. It was all planned by Coach Bryant.
Don't miss Tackling Segregation, the 1970 USC-Alabama game, all month long. Celebrate Black History Month, presented by the U.S. Navy.
College basketball on CBS College Sports is being brought to you by Icy Hot. Gets icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. And by the U.S. Navy. Well, back here at the UCF Arena, 43-28 the score. Cougars on top by 15. Let's take a look at the first half statistics. We've talked about some of the stats already, and they're telling a very interesting story for UCF squad, Greg, that normally leads at halftime here in this building by nearly 10 points per game.
Well, offensively, they've really struggled, and it's not allowed them to have an impact on the game defensively. They've given up too many opportunities in the open floor, 15 points off those turnovers. But you look here, 1 of 7 from the three-point line, and the 8 turnovers. That's really been critical. Think about Houston. They had 3 turnovers early, didn't have any more down the stretch. And again, they've been far more effective and efficient on the offensive side of the floor.
And if you're wondering about UCF's normal numbers from outside the arc, as Greg pointed out, they're 1 for 7 tonight. They are first in shooting percentage in Conference USA at 38%. So there's no question they're better than 1 for 7.
They are, and you would expect them to be a little bit better here moving forward.
Well, you look what they've done the last 5 games during this winning streak. Their shooting percentage has been up. Their three-point field goal percentage has been up. Their free throw percentage has been up. The only thing tonight that's equal to that or close to it, the free throw percentage.
Yeah.
So we begin the second half. UCF with the ball, down 43-28. Young hands the ball off to Taylor, stops and launches, doesn't get the roll, but the putback is there for Davis.
And I tell you what, Tony Davis has really had a huge impact on this game. He's been active, he's been aggressive on both ends, and giving them a presence on the front line.
You know, he talked a couple weeks ago about learning the position of playing down low, that in high school, he was always playing out along the perimeter. And in college, he has to play down low. I guess it does take some time to get used to that.
Well, it takes some time. You got to get used to getting beat up because it's a lot more physical when you start playing inside that interior.
So Davis now with a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and now a turnover forced by Houston. Here's Wade, tries to get some position, and he does with Ramsa right in his back pocket.
And again here, turnovers again for UCF.
And Desmond Wade, I believe, is going to be called for that foul. And how telling a first half did Desmond Wade have? Well, he started the second half. That's how good he was in the first half.
Well, I was talking with assistant coach Kevin Lewis before the game, and he talked about how important he's been all season. He says they're a better team when he's playing well, and we've seen points of that here early on in this game.
A little bit of a size mismatch there. Ramsa thought about a 3, moves away from the defense. Shot doesn't go. Taylor with the rebound.
Pretty move. And again, finding ways to impact the game. If the jumper's not falling, go get an offensive rebound. Try to get a layup. Taylor's finding ways to keep his team in this game.
Well, and he's cut this lead to 13. It's 45-32. You may not think that's a big deal, but the largest lead for Houston in this ball game, 20. Lewis with a 3, and he's fouled. That's not a good foul by Jermaine Taylor.
No, you like the effort, but you don't like the foul there. You want to contest, but you cannot. That's the cardinal rule. You never foul a jump shooter, especially when they're beyond the arc.
I'm surprised that he fouled him there.
Well, you know, plays like that, a lot of times, if you get caught out of position, you react instinctively to go and contest. And this happens. It's not like it doesn't happen. We had a 4-point play earlier in the game because of a foul on the 3-point shot. So it does happen, but that was a mental lapse there defensively by Jermaine Taylor.
Kelvin Lewis making his 23rd straight start. Defending that guy most of the night. Jermaine Taylor makes the first 2 free throws. He'll get 1 more.
And Kelvin Lewis, give this young man some credit. He's had to go guard Robert Baden, Tyreek Evans, and had a lot of success against both of them. Then you come back and you got Stephon Jackson at UTEP, and then the next game you're going up against Jermaine Taylor. That's quite a load to have to bear defensively for Kelvin Lewis.
Stephon Jackson just became the all-time leading scorer in Conference USA history, 2,035 points. 16-point lead, tough shot. The rebound is tipped out. Ramsa picks it up at midcourt, and he's fouled by Lewis.
And that's an example. Even though Young doesn't score, you have to be aggressive offensively. You have to force the defense to honor you. That's why a lot of these steals are occurring, because no one's looking at the basket for UCF other than Davis and Taylor.
Under 18 minutes to play here in the second half. I think that Zondervan was supposed to let that pass go to the sidelines to one of his teammates.
Yeah, a lot of time when you get a baseline drive, you want your big to curl into the middle and allow that baseline drift for the opposite corner for that jump shot.
Taylor from the corner puts it on the floor, draws the defense. Davis down low, tries to get it over the defender, and he does. 12 points for Tony Davis. The average is 9. He's got 12 tonight, and he's cut this lead to 14. 17 and a half minutes to play. Wade peering. Coleman with a crossover and a quick one. Good help defense. Nice pass. Kuzan is able to get the shot to go down. That's a very good pass by Aubrey Coleman.
Well, their guards in general, they do everything well. They can score it, they can pass it, and they can beat you off the dribble, and that puts a lot of pressure on defenses to provide help.
Now Young has the bigger Karan Calhoun on him. Now Wade picks him up. Jermaine Taylor for 3. Good! And Jermaine Taylor has just tied the school record for threes in a career. He needs one more to set the all-time record.
Well, we've seen offensively now UCF being a little more effective, but they got to figure out a way to come up with stops, because Houston's still scoring consistently in their half court.
Well, that's a tough foul for Davis. He got off his feet, and when he landed, Coleman waited for him to land and then bumped into his body.
Yeah, but that's just a smart play here. Taylor knocks down the 3 in rhythm. Nice setup there by Taylor. But again, that's just the smartness and really the savvy offensively of a guy like Aubrey Coleman.
So Coleman heads back to the free throw line. Tonight's ball game, he's 3 of 4, make it 4 of 5, and he converts that one. 15 points. Davis will take a seat on the bench with 3 personal fouls.
And that's huge, because he's really been the only other complement offensively to Taylor.
Right, and this is a big Houston squad with Calhoun at 6'8" and Kuzan at 6'11" as Coleman converts the second free throw. And for UCF, they get a little smaller with him on the bench. Young covered by Coleman. Bounce pass down low. Boy, that's a tough pass. And the steal by Coleman. Spin move and the finish.
Boy, I tell you, you got to be impressed with his patience. Even though he's in attack mode, he's always under control.
Taylor tries to answer. He cannot, but Zondervan is there with the putback.
I tell you what, Tom, the tempo's really starting to pick up, which I think can help UCF to get some rhythm shots. But again, ultimately, they got to come up with a way to find stops.
That was my thought, Greg, is who does it benefit? You answer.
Yeah, well, when you're losing by 15, you got to try to create and force tempo. And a lot of times that allows you to get some rhythm shots in transition, because they got right now a bunch of guys who don't have the confidence to take shots.
And you pick up tempo even defensively, too. Shot clock under 10. What a pass to Calhoun, and the slam. Wade just knifed that pass through the defense. 54-39, excuse me, 56-39 the score. Zondervan working the perimeter with Taylor. Taylor for 3. There's the record. Jermaine Taylor, the all-time leading three-point shooter, 221 threes.
I tell you what, that guy can get it done on the offensive end.
He had a guy only a step away from him to get that shot off. 14-point lead for Houston. Wade trying to draw the defense, and the foul called on Ramsa. Well, Houston has kept pace with Jermaine Taylor and UCF. How have they done it? Well, a good transition offense, a spin move here, a pass there, and they've got the lead by 14.
All right, what do we got?
Male, head trauma struck by a bus. It's a Jack the Box guy.
Are you sure?
Get in there. Yeah.
I really like his sirloin burger. Yeah, but the
Tacos?
breakfast. Breakfast. That's it.
Nurse O'Brien and I often enjoy a midnight breakfast at Jack's.
So anyway, Bob.
Right, I'm going in. Give me a bone saw and a hot glue gun.
Hi. It's pretty easy to see what draws me to Esurance. With my family, a job, and a pretty long commute, it's hard to find time to take care of things like auto insurance.
Let alone how much it can cost.
I chose Esurance because they save me money in no time.
With quote-by-print convenience, you can start saving in minutes.
And with hassle-free automatic payments, that's one less bill that piles up.
Get your fast-free quote today.
And get animated about your auto insurance with Esurance.
Is this what your phone bill feels like to you? Stop paying so much. Save money with Vonage at the low price of $24.99 a month. Connect Vonage to your existing high-speed internet, and you've got dial tone. Get unlimited calls in the U.S., plus 25 amazing features. Just $24.99 a month. Sign up at 877-4Vonage or Vonage.com.
It's the most anticipated rematch in UFC history between two of the sport's greatest athletes. Lightweight champion BJ Penn moves back up to 170 to avenge a 2006 loss to current welterweight champion George St. Pierre. Also, undefeated light heavyweights collide as 13-0 Thiago Silva takes on 13-0 Lyoto Machida. Bud Light presents UFC 94, St. Pierre versus Penn 2. From the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. On DirecTV pay-per-view.
56-42 the score. Houston's on top with 14:49 to play here in the second half. Tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on CBS College Sports. It's a battle for the top spot in Conference USA as the Mustangs of SMU travel to Hattiesburg, Mississippi to face Pauline Love and the red-hot Lady Eagles of Southern Miss. Catch all the women's hoops action tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. Only on CBS College Sports, the pulse of college sports. And here are the standings in Conference USA. SMU and Southern Miss sitting atop those standings, not only with 7-1 records within the conference, but also identical 14-7 marks outside. How about UCF? 6-2 in the conference, but 5 under 500 overall.
They probably played a really tough non-conference schedule.
That's
probably what it was.
Deduction on your part. Well, they call this beautiful facility home, the UCF Arena. This is a facility that holds 10,000. And the fans have obviously enjoyed it, not only tonight, but I understand that you enjoyed Engelbert Humperdinck last night.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to partake in the concert last night. It was real interesting. I'm familiar with Engelbert because I grew up in Las Vegas.
Right.
He used to headline there a lot. And I'd never seen him in person as a kid. And just the name would always puzzle me because I just could not put that suave, debonair, macho look together with the name Engelbert.
Well, here's the thing. If Wayne Newton is watching, don't be upset. Greg also is.
I'm a Wayne Newton fan.
I knew you would be.
I'm a big Wayne Newton fan.
Houston with the lead and the ball. Lewis along the free throw line. Coleman thought about a three, steps into the arc. Oh boy. Coleman with the finish and the two-handed slam. That was just unlucky for the Knights.
That's kind of the way the night has been going for the Knights too. Just not able to come up with those loose balls. And that's really a momentum killer for UCF.
So a 16-point lead for the Cougars. Here's Tyler, the transfer from Clemson. He just lost that ball, and Wade is fouled going up. Oh no, I'm sorry, no foul. They just knocked it out of bounds. Nice job by Young.
Yeah, Taylor Young hustling back there, not allowing the layup.
I just assumed it was a foul.
Well, so did Desmond Wade, but you know what? Great play on the basketball there. Excellent effort defensively. Now it's just a matter of someone offensively can get going for UCF.
Remember, Tony Davis is on the bench with 3 personal fouls for UCF. Guzan in the paint, and he's fouled. John Michel Yotillo, number 34, in the game for the first time. And he's called for his first.
And there's a little bit of frustration right now on the face of UCF. And look, it's acceptable, but you got to be able to control your emotions, because even on that last possession, just body up, make a guy score up over the top. When you're down, you do not want to give free throws. You know, you want to force misses, try to get that defensive backboard and get out and get some opportunities. You don't want to put Houston on the line.
And Kuzan has turned himself into a good free throw shooter as he makes the first. How much of that, Greg, and Tom Penders probably has a feeling about this too because he has some youngsters, but how much of that for UCF is because there's so many freshmen?
There's no question it has a huge impact on how you play, especially when you're a young player. The younger you are as a player, the more your game revolves around your ability to make shots. And if you don't see the ball go to the basket, you're not going to be as effective of a basketball player, particularly when you're very young and inexperienced.
Sosa in the ball game for the first time in this half. He'll launch a three off the pass from Taylor, and it's good. Splashes it home from the sideline.
And Coach Spiraw talked about the fact that Sosa can get it done from the perimeter. It's just a matter of whether or not he can have much of an impact defensively that'll allow him to get the minutes out on the floor.
41 threes now for Sosa this year. He's at 46% for the season. And if he took more shots, he would be the leader in Conference USA because he has such a high percentage, but he just doesn't qualify. Oh boy, a stop for UCF, and then the unforced turnover by Tyler just passed that ball out of bounds.
A.J. Tyler was a little bit of a hot potato there. He was just trying to get rid of the basketball. And, you know, again, just be strong, be patient, and allow the play to come to you.
A.J. Tyler, the transfer from Clemson. Houston will have the ball. A timeout called. 13-19 to play. It's a 15-point game.
Hi, may I help you?
Yes, I hear Progressive has lots of discounts on car insurance. Can I get in on that?
Are you a safe driver?
Yes.
Discount. Do you own a home?
Yes.
Discount. Are you gonna buy online?
Yes.
Discount. Isn't getting discounts great?
Yes.
There's no discount for agreeing with me.
Yeah, I got carried away.
Happens to me all the time.
Helping you save money. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Welcome to Progressive's Concierge Claims Center. You must be Mr. Garcia.
I was in a little fender bender.
We have your reservation right here. We'll assess the damage, coordinate the repairs, and call you when it's fixed. And it all comes with your policy. Here's your rental.
Can I see it again?
Taking care of everything for you. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
How much sugar is in these energy drinks? Let's find out. While waiting, you should know. 5-Hour Energy contains 0 sugar and only 4 calories. Its blend of B vitamins and amino acids can help you feel awake, alert, and productive for hours without the crash or jitters. The answer is 12. Over 12 teaspoons of sugar and 200 calories in these energy drinks. 0 sugar and 4 calories in 5-Hour Energy. There's a reason people choose 5-Hour Energy 2.5 million times a week. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
Well, this was a 15-point game at the half. It remains a 15-point game, 60-45. Houston is on top of UCF, along with Greg Anthony. Big Steelers fan, by the way. He's very happy about the Super Bowl. I'm Tom McCarthy. Well, it's been interesting to see some of the numbers as we take a look at our AT&T game summary, really what the difference has been in this ballgame. How about 21 points for Houston off of turnovers from UCF?
Well, you talked about it earlier. Houston doesn't turn it over, and yet they're able to go out and turn you over, and that's what they've done in this game. They've done a very good job because that's why that field goal percentage is so high for them. When you turn a team over, you get 21 points off of turnovers. That means you're getting a lot of layups and free throws, and they've been able to convert here in this game.
By the way, Jermaine Taylor, you see there, has 21 points on 8 of 17 shooting. He is 2 points away from moving into the top 10 in Conference USA history in scoring. Been some pretty good players. In fact, he is about to pass Travis Diener from Marquette. That kid could shoot.
He definitely could. There have been a lot, as you mentioned, a lot of great players in this conference through the years. But that speaks to the abilities of Jermaine Taylor. And you know, the thing about the young man, you know it's got to be a little frustrating when you don't have the overall personnel around you at times, but yet he's shown great leadership and poise out there, and he's really trying to be a leader and help his team become a little bit better in terms of wins and losses.
Well, I asked Kirk Spiraw about that, about this being his senior year, how important it is. And there's Zod off the pass from Wade, and the emphatic slam. How important it was for some of these freshmen to play well in this Taylor's senior year. He said, you know, we haven't really thought about that, and I don't think Jermaine's really thought about that. And he has just tried to make them better as the season's moved on.
And he's done it, because anytime you can put up 24 a night and shoot over 50% as a guard, that tells you not only are you an effective player, but you're also a team player, because that means you're not taking a lot of bad shots. You're playing within the structure of the offense, and that gives your team the best opportunity to be successful.
And Jermaine Taylor will play, you would expect someday, in the next level, as Taylor Young is able to make both free throws and cut it back to a 15-point lead, which is where we were at the half. A little bit of zone by UCF. Lewis over the zone as he falls to the ground.
Now, they've gone to the zone twice, UCF, in this game, and on both possessions. Oh!
How about Jermaine Taylor explodes to the hoop with a two-handed slam, and he has moved into a tie in top 10 scoring in Conference USA history.
He just explodes. The weak side defense not able to get over and close off that driving lane. And again, this guy's so athletic. Once he gets to that launching pad, Tom, there's not anybody in America going to stop him from finishing at the rim.
Well, I asked Kirk Spiro about the fact that Taylor has the potential to play on the next level. He said absolutely. He said one of the things he's able to do, he's able to create and separate, which is what you need to do in the NBA. Absolutely. He said it might be easier for him in the NBA to do that.
Well, because there's going to be a higher degree of skill around him, which means you're going to have more space. The more talent you play with, the more opportunities you have to attack one-on-one, because you have to honor the other guys out on the floor. And so right now, defenses are geared to him, which I think is even more impressive what he's been able to do without the lack of a proven #2 scorer out on the floor.
Any idea what you think he needs to do to improve to get to the next level?
He's just got to continue to work. He's got a complete game as a shooting guard. He can defend it. You know, he's obviously very athletic. He rebounds well for a guard. He can beat people off the dribble, and as Coach Spiro talked about, he can separate, which is something you look for with your perimeter player.
Well, now UCF needs a stop as Houston has a 16-point lead. Shot clock under 10. Calhoun with a long-range three and a beauty.
They are just getting so many contributions from a lot of different guys.
Taylor may have forced that, although he was open. A little long. Here's Coleman. He was trying to kick that ball out to somebody to shoot. Nobody was there open. Again, the 2-3 zone. Guzan had it, kicked it out to Calhoun. Coleman for the baseline. Slices through the zone. Steal by UCF. Tough pass, Taylor holds it and then bobbles it out of bounds. Well, 11:24 to play, 68-49. Houston extends its lead.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Will you stand in line for wilting, overpriced roses? ProFlowers has a better solution. Send her a dozen assorted roses fresh from the field right to her door for just $29.99. Or make her even happier. Send her 18 red roses plus this premium ruby red vase for only $10 more. This exclusive TV offer expires Friday, so don't wait. Go to proflowers.com. Click on the microphone in the upper right corner, enter college in the box, or call toll-free 1-800-FRESHEST and mention TV, and you're ready to send fresh roses to her for Valentine's Day.
Maybe 2 minutes on the computer, click, 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 and you're done. So it avoids a lot of headache and a lot of hassle at the last minute. Those flowers stay fresh and beautiful a week to 2 weeks.
ProFlowers consistently delivers flowers that are good quality.
This exclusive TV offer is $30 less than standard website pricing and expires Friday. So go now to proflowers.com, click on the microphone in the upper right corner, enter college in the box, or call 1-800-FRESHEST and mention TV. Call or go online now.
Well, the lead was 15 at the half, and now it's been inched up by Houston, 68-49, 11:24 to play in this ball game. Aubrey Coleman, 20 points, 9 rebounds for Houston so far in this game. Kelvin Lewis, 15 points for Tom Pender's squad. Tom Penders started his career as a head coach at Tufts in 1971, then went to Columbia, then went to Fordham, then went to Rhode Island, and then went to Texas. He was pretty good for Texas before going to George Washington, and then finally to Houston. And Tom Penders in his own right, Greg,